I don't know who you are, but I swear, no one's ever looked at me like I mattered. Until you did. She whispered those words with trembling lips as snowflakes melted on her cheeks. And in that moment, under a flickering streetlight, his heart broke open, and what he did next changed not just her life, but his forever. Hi everyone, welcome back to Gentle Spirit. Before we dive deep into this emotional story of kindness, redemption, and healing, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us share more inspiring stories that touch the heart and uplift the soul. Now, let's begin. It was the dead of winter in a small Ohio town. Streets were blanketed in thick white snow. The sky hung low, gray and heavy, and everything felt frozen, including the hearts of the people rushing through their day. Except for one man. Ethan Cooper was a single father. At just 32, life had already thrown him more curveballs than most face in a lifetime. His wife, Maggie, had died of leukemia 3 years ago, leaving behind their daughter, Lily, who was then just 5. Since Maggie's death, Ethan had done everything he could to keep life normal for Lily. He worked 2 jobs, day shifts at a mechanic shop, and nights delivering groceries. He cooked, cleaned, told bedtime stories, and somehow still made it to Lily's school plays. He wasn't perfect, but he showed up. And that mattered. That cold December evening, Ethan had just finished his delivery shift and was heading home with Lily fast asleep in the back seat, bundled in her favorite unicorn blanket. She always took it with her on night rides, whispering that it smelled like mommy. As he turned the corner near a downtown alley, he saw something that made his stomach clench. A woman, young, maybe mid-20s, was sitting hunched over on a bench, wrapped in nothing but a torn hoodie and jeans. Snow clung to her hair. Her lips were cracked, hands stiff. She was shaking violently, her eyes swollen with either cold or tears. Or both. Ethan pulled over. He hesitated. People didn't usually stop. But his late wife used to say, if you ever wonder whether you should help someone, the answer is probably yes. He looked at Lily sleeping peacefully, then back at the woman. Quietly, he got out of the truck, opened the back door, and lifted Lily's unicorn blanket. He walked over slowly. Hey, he said softly, crouching next to the bench. The woman flinched, startled. I'm not gonna hurt you, he added quickly. Just, you look cold. She stared at him like she couldn't believe he was real. He gently wrapped the blanket around her shoulders. It's my daughter's, he said, smiling a little. She won't mind. I promise. Tears spilled from the woman's eyes. No one's ever done that for me, she choked. What's your name? He asked. Haley, she whispered. Haley's story was the kind most people pretend not to see. She'd grown up in foster care, aged out at 18, worked odd jobs, and then, after escaping an abusive boyfriend, ended up on the streets. She'd been homeless for nearly 4 months. Ethan didn't know what to do, but his gut said, she needs someone. You can be that someone. So he invited her to come home for the night. We've got an old couch. It's warm. And safe. Haley was hesitant, afraid, embarrassed, but too cold to say no. That night, while Lily slept, Ethan made Haley hot soup and gave her clean clothes from Maggie's old drawer. Haley cried when she saw the toothbrush he handed her. No one had cared if her teeth were clean in months. The days turned into weeks. What started as one night became 2, then a few more. Haley began helping around the house, folding laundry, making Lily's breakfast, even walking her to the school bus. At first, Ethan worried. What would people think? A homeless woman living under his roof? But then he remembered something else Maggie used to say, love doesn't care about reputations. It just loves. Lily adored Haley. She called her Miss Sunshine because she always smiled, even when her eyes still held sadness. But healing takes time, and Haley had scars. One night, she had a panic attack when Ethan accidentally slammed a cabinet door too hard. She sobbed on the kitchen floor, shaking. Ethan didn't say anything. He just sat with her. No questions. No judgment. Just presence. Haley told him everything. About her past. The man who'd broken her. The nights she slept behind dumpsters. The shame. The loneliness. Ethan didn't flinch. He just said, "You're not broken. You're still here." That means something. Over the next few months, Haley got a job at a local bakery. The owner, Mrs. Whitaker, was a kind woman who believed in second chances. With Ethan's help, Haley opened her first bank account. Bought a second-hand coat. Even started taking online classes. She was blooming. And Ethan was falling. He didn't mean to. He wasn't looking for love. But every time Haley laughed with Lily, or stood up straighter, or looked at herself in the mirror like she was worth something, his heart tugged. And Haley, she saw Ethan not just as her rescuer, but as a man who truly listened. Who never once tried to own her pain. Who offered warmth, not pity. One snowy afternoon, almost a year since they'd met, Ethan took Lily and Haley to the park. Lily was sledding, cheeks pink with joy. Ethan and Haley sat on a bench watching her. "Remember when you wrapped this blanket around me?" Haley asked, holding the unicorn blanket in her lap. "I do," Ethan said softly. "I think, that was the first time I felt human in years." She turned to him, eyes shimmering. "Ethan, you didn't just save me. You saw me. And I don't know how to thank you." He smiled gently. "You already did. You're here." That spring, they planted a garden in the backyard. Lily named the first flower Hope. And that's exactly what their little family became, a living, breathing example of hope. Proof that one small act of kindness, a blanket, a hot meal, a couch, can open the door to healing, love, and new life. So what's the message here? Sometimes the people we overlook are the ones who need us most. And sometimes the smallest gesture, a shared blanket, a warm soup, a safe place, can change someone's story forever. You never know what someone's been through. But you can be the reason they believe in kindness again.